Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story about the Samburu elephants. It's a story of crisis, incredible loss, but also some surprising resilience. And it's all thanks to one groundbreaking study that revealed what was really going on.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. For an adult elephant in northern Kenya, the deadliest predator is us. That's not just an opinion. That's the central, stark finding from a 14-year study. I mean, think about that for a second. An adult elephant is now more likely to be killed by a person than by anything else. Drought, old age, you name it. It's a really heavy thing to wrap your head around.
So, how in the world did we discover this alarming truth? Well, the story is actually fascinating. It all comes from a long-term research project that had to completely change what it was doing, right in the middle of it, because a crisis was exploding right in front of the scientists' eyes.
See, this whole thing started out as a totally different kind of study. The team, led by a biologist named George Wittemyer, they weren't trying to track death rates at all. They just wanted to study elephant society, how they interact, their families. But then something happened, and what they saw forced them to make this sudden, critical shift in their entire focus.
So, picture this. The project kicks off, and the team is following nearly 1,000 individual elephants. 1,000. Their goal was simple, really. Just to understand their incredibly complex social lives. Their family bonds, their day-to-day routines in these stunning national reserves in Kenya. They didn't just see them as numbers. They knew these elephants by name. They knew their families. Okay, so the study kicks off way back in 1997, and for years it's all about observing elephant behavior. Pretty standard stuff. But then, look at the timeline. Around 2009, 12 years into the project, everything changes. The researchers start seeing this huge, dramatic spike in poaching. And just like that, they had to pivot. Their job wasn't just about studying how these elephants lived anymore. It became a race to document if they could even survive.
And that shift, well, it led to some absolutely alarming discoveries. The numbers they started crunching painted this just devastating picture of what was happening. And it all starts with the biggest, oldest males.
All right, let's set the stage. Back in the year 2000, the researchers knew of 38 big adult male elephants. We're talking over 30 years old. These guys are the patriarchs, They're absolutely essential for breeding, for social stability. So remember that number, 38.
Now fast forward just 11 years to 2011. That number, 38, it had crashed down to just 12. 12. The loss is just staggering. And the reason is brutal. Poachers were going after the biggest, oldest males specifically because they had the largest tusks. They were wiping out generations of wisdom and leadership in the process.
And it wasn't only the males, the matriarchs. These are the keepers of knowledge, the glue that holds the family groups together. They were hit just as hard. In just a 5-year span, from 2006 to 2011, nearly half of the adult females over 30 were gone. It's just a devastating blow for a species that depends so heavily on the wisdom of its elders.
And if there was any doubt about what was causing this, the data makes it crystal clear. By 2011, when the team found an elephant that had died, it was more likely to be from poaching than from anything else. Look at this. 56% were killed by poachers. That's more than all other causes combined. And that includes a really severe drought that was happening at the same time. The human impact was undeniable.
When you lose that many individuals, it's not just about the numbers going down. It's like pulling threads from a tapestry. It tears apart the very fabric of their society. And the ripple effects on their complex family structures, well, they were just massive.
So let's just look at the raw numbers here. Before things got really bad, the population was about 42% male. After the crisis, that dropped all the way down to 32%. That kind of imbalance is a huge deal. It completely changes the social dynamics, and it even puts the future genetic health of the entire population at risk.
And this one is probably the most heartbreaking stat of all. For elephants, everything revolves around the family. The researchers started out tracking 50 distinct family groups. By the end of this period, 10 of those families were essentially gone, wiped out. An entire lineage just vanished.
But here's where the story takes a really unexpected turn. In the middle of all this loss and devastation, the data showed something that no one saw coming. The elephants that survived, they had a surprising, almost instinctual response to the crisis.
Yeah, you heard that right. According to the lead researcher, George Wittemyer, right after the absolute worst years of poaching, there was a baby boom, a huge jump in births in 2012. It's as if there was this powerful, instinctive drive kicking in, a drive to rebuild the population against all odds.
And that's what leaves us with this huge, really critical question. What are we actually seeing here? Is this baby boom a sign of incredible resilience? Proof that life will always find a way? Or is it something a bit more desperate? A population's last biological Hail Mary pass when it's been pushed right to the edge? The data tells an incredible story of survival so far, but the final chapter, well, that's still being written.